If you're talking about scopes of Southeast Asia, of course ASEAN as regional organization in Southeast Asia will be involved. ASEAN scopes around political, socio-cultural, and also economic is established as their own communities such as APSC, AFCC, and AC. First, I'm going to talk about political security in ASEAN. The establishment of the ASEAN Political Security Community is aimed at accelerating political and security cooperation in ASEAN in realizing peace in the regional and global region. The ASEAN Political Security Society is open based on comprehensive security approach and is not intended to form a joint defense/military alliance or foreign policy pact. The ASEAN Political Security Community Council has the duty to ensure the implementation of decisions in the Political Security Summit, coordinate the work of various sectors within the scope of political security cooperation and issues across the Economic Community Council and also the Council of Socio-Cultural Society, and also submit reports and recommendations to the ASEAN Summit regarding matters related to political security developments. Is the Socio-Cultural Community of ASEAN. The ASEAN Socio-Cultural Community is all about realizing the full potential of ASEAN citizens. The ASCC Blueprint 2025 was adopted by the ASEAN leaders at the 27th ASEAN Summit on November 22, 2015 in Kuala Lumpur. The ASCC is working towards a committed, participative, and socially responsible community for the benefit of ASEAN people, an inclusive community that promotes high quality of life, equitable access to opportunities for all, and promotes and protects human rights, a sustainable community that promotes social development and environmental protection, a resilient community with enhanced capacity and capability to adapt and respond to social and economic vulnerabilities, disaster, climate change, and other new challenges, and a dynamic and harmonious community that is aware and proud of its destiny, culture, and heritage. The SCC also recognizes that there is a need to bring the ASEAN process closer to the people in order to fully fulfill its objective of being people-centered. To achieve this, the ASCC department is producing a monthly magazine focusing on the work of the pillar. The ASCC magazine aims to be the platform which introduces key issues of importance to the people of ASEAN. It also aims to provide an insight into ASEAN activities which focuses on building skills and developing a sense of community in ASEAN. The first issue of the magazine, known as the ASEAN, was produced in May 2020. In addition to the monthly issues, special issues focusing on selected themes are also produced. We're going to talk about ASEAN Economic Community. The AEC is the realization of the region's end goal of economic integration. It envisions ASEAN as single market and product-based, a highly competitive region with equitable economic development and fully integrated into the global economy. The goal of ASEAN economic integration is to create a stable, a prosperous, and highly competitive economic region. Regional economic integration under the AEC necessarily demands greater connectivity between ASEAN member states as well as within the countries. Transport, ICT, energy, connectivity, and tourism are key elements of physical and people-to-people connectivity in the region. Additionally, other sectors such as agriculture, forestry, fisheries, science, and technology play an important and complementary role to achieve an integrated market under the AEC.
This part is about the current issues of the Southeast Asia. Myanmar military police carried out an airstrike that killed at least 15 people on Friday, October 23, 2022. The attack was aimed at Music Council held to celebrate the 16th anniversary of the founding of the armed political wing of the Kachin Independence Organization. This is very evil act that can also be considered a war crime. The junta attack was a deadly since the military toppled the civilian government in February 2021. This was not a battle with the junta soldiers, but a massacre of civilians. The victim consisted of civilians, local singers, and officers of the Kachin Independence Army. A number of eyewitnesses said this brutal attack was carried out using three planes. The two famous Myanmar singers bounced off the wooden stage, their body cut. So did the hundreds of villagers watching. Myanmar now reports that at least 16 people of ethnic Kachin were killed and more than 100 injured. Myanmar military junta government denies that bombs were thrown on the country venue. They said the attack targeted the headquarters of the main brigade of the Kachin Independence Army, which they describe as terrorist organization. Various parties have criticized this action as a form of state absence of responsibility to protect civilians and uphold the principle of international humanitarian law. The United Nations in Myanmar said it was deeply concerned and saddened by the report of the attack. What appeared to be excessive and disproportionate use of force by the security force against unarmed civilians is unacceptable. In joint statement, head of diplomatic mission in Myanmar, including Australia, Britain, the United States, and member of the European Union, called the attack and musical performance in Myanmar a serious violation of international humanitarian law. The European Union Special Representative for Human Rights, Eamon Gilmore, said the attack in countries that must be held accountable. The Myanmar government has long been in conflict with any minority struggle organization in German autonomy. The Kachin Independence Organization is one of the most powerful groups in Myanmar. Rebellion has become increasingly widespread since the fall of unstructured key form government.
The history of Southeast Asia covers the people of Southeast Asia from prehistory to the present into distinct subregions: mainland Southeast Asia or Indochina and maritime Southeast Asia or insular Southeast Asia. Mainland Southeast Asia comprises Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar or Burma, Peninsular Malaysia, Thailand and Vietnam, whereas maritime Southeast Asia comprises Brunei, Cocos Island, Christmas Island as Malaysia, as Timor, Indonesia, Philippines, and Singapore. The earliest Homo sapiens presence in mainland Southeast Asia can be traced by 70,000 years ago, and to at least 50,000 years ago in maritime Southeast Asia since 25,000 years ago, as Asian-related basal Asian groups expanded southwards into maritime Southeast Asia from mainland Southeast Asia. As early as 10,000 years ago, Hobbinian settlers from mainland Southeast Asia had developed a tradition and culture of distinct artifact and tool production.
The wide topographical diversity of Southeast Asia has greatly influenced its history. For instance, mainland Southeast Asia with its continuous but rugged and difficult terrain provided the basis for the early Khmer and Mon civilizations. The subregion's extensive coastline and major river systems of the Irrawaddy, Salween, Chao Phraya, Mekong and Red River have directed socio-cultural and economic activities towards the Indian Ocean and South China Sea. On the other hand, apart from exceptions such as Borneo and Sumatra, maritime Southeast Asia is a patchwork of recurring land sea patterns on widely dispersed islands and archipelagos. A discontinuity that admitted moderately sized aristocratic states indifferent to territorial ambition where growth and prosperity was associated with sea trade. Since around 100 BCE, the Southeast Asian archipelago occupied a central position at the crossroads of the Indian Ocean and the South China Sea trading routes, which immensely stimulated the economy and the influx of ideas promoted social organization and advance. Most local trading polities selectively adopted Indian Hindu elements of statecraft, religion, culture, and administration during the early centuries of the Common Era, which marked the beginning of recorded history and the continuation of a characteristic cultural development. Chinese culture diffused more indirectly and sporadic as trade was based on land roads like the Silk Road. Long periods of Chinese isolation and political relations that were confined to ritualistic tribute procedures prevented the acculturation. Buddhism, particularly in Indochina, began to affect the political structure beginning in the 8th to 9th centuries. Islamic ideas arrived in insular Southeast Asia as early as the 8th century, where the first Muslim society emerged by the 13th century. The era of European colonialism, early modernity, and the Cold War era revealed the reality of limited political significance for the various Southeast Asian polities. Post-World War II, national survival and progress required a modern state and a strong national identity. Most modern Southeast Asian countries enjoy a historically unprecedented degree of political freedom and self-determination and have embraced the practical concept of intergovernmental cooperation within the Association of Southeast Asian Nations.
And then there's the actor. There are 5 main men behind the Asian organization. First of all is Indonesia Adam Malik. Adam Malik has served in various capacities in Indonesian government, serving as foreign minister from 1967 to 1977 before becoming the Speaker of Indonesian Parliament and Congress and then Vice President at 1978. And then there's a Philippine Narcisco Ramos. Ramos was a journalist, lawyer, and 5-term legislator who also became one of the founder of Liberal Party. Under the administration of former President Ferdinand Marcos, Ramos served as a foreign secretary from 1966 to 1968. Ramos was previously an ambassador to Taipei. And then there's a Malaysia, Tun Abdul Razak. Tun Abdul Razak was a Malaysia's second prime minister serving from 1970 to 1978. As a deputy prime minister and defense minister of rural government under the prime minister, Tun Abdul Razak was responsible for managing country development policy. He was known for launching a new economic policy in 1971 which aimed to tackle poverty, economic and social inequality that fueled racial issues. In his speech following the Asian Congress Declaration, Tun Abdul Razak emphasized cooperation among nations. And then there's Singapore Rajaratnam. Rajaratnam was a journalist and co-founder of People Action Party together with Lee Kuan Yew, Toh Chin Che, and Hu Huan Se. As a foreign affairs minister, Rajaratnam represents a small country in Asian building in UN. In his speech following the signing of Asian Declaration, Rajaratnam emphasized the Asian member would have to marry national thinking with a regional thinking. And then lastly, there's a Thailand Thanat Koman. Thanat Koman was a diplomat and statesman who served as foreign minister from 1959 to 1971. During the Sharif Thanat government, he forged closer ties with the US. With the signing of joint communique of the US promised the Thailand support and defense against the communist threat.